Okay. Week 1 was so fun. Shark bite, first blood. That we are back for week 2. And I'm going to invite a few of my friends to join me in the conversation. So let me grab them on with me now. And hey, everybody. For just a quick little chat. And there she is.
Hey, hey.
Our Christy on. Hi.
Hi.
Yes. Here we are again.
Been
2
so long
times
since
in
I've
a
seen
row.
you.
No. You guys, we literally do a Wednesday Zoom with our teams, and then we chat for about a hot second, and then we hop on here. I don't know. It's about sharks, but I feel like the lion is the shark of the jungle or something. Kind of.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think so I'm Cray. So what's the crazy of the fish world? No, that is the crazy of the fish world. What's the crazy of the animal world? Hyena or something?
I was gonna go through my Disney I was going through my Disney movies.
I know. I'm like, they're probably either the sidekick. Oh, hey, from Moana. That one. Yeah. It's good.
So what's the owl? I'm the owl.
Yeah.
I'm the who's. The who's. The who.
You're like the sage. You're the guy in Lion King that hits other people on the head. That wise monkey, he pays it. Boom. Yeah. Rafiki.
For 1,000%. Okay. All right. Now that we've done our little song and dance here for you, let's talk emotions and expectations. Yeah.
Emotions. Yep. Those two you got to have a handle on. I say all the time, because I read it one time and it stuck, is the number one cause of divorce is unmet expectations. And if that's why two people that used to love each other very much and built a life together choose to separate, I am assuming that unmet expectations are probably something that we need to talk about in lots of areas of our lives.
All right. Well, let's talk about it. That's what we're here for. We were sort of brainstorming of what should we say today? And again, our conversation is really going to the direct sales, network marketing person. But honestly, so many things they weave in and out, right? Things we learn in life, we use in business. Things we learn in business, we use in life. And so I'll just start with a couple thoughts that I have that have served me. I guess what I want to do is my new mentor, Rory Vaden, says that you're best positioned to serve who you once were. So I'm going to take myself back kind of a little bit to the beginning. And I've got 2 thoughts on that, you guys. And the first one was I learned this about myself. And then I actually used this with my team as I started to build a team. And I'm going to talk expectations first. For me, what really helped was I had low expectations, high belief. And that for myself and as I started to build a team. And here's why. Again, we've been talking recently about the entry point. If the entry point is down here, I really only have one place to go. And that's up, right? So there's not a lot of pressure. There's not a lot of worry or stress about performance. It's just okay, the expectation is here. But my belief was always here. I believe in people. I believe they can do it. I believe that they're capable. But what I wanted to avoid was the opposite, which was high expectation, because that right there can just kill off a dream. Okay. High expectation. And then I also, though, didn't want to have low belief, because if you've been disappointed, even at the beginning, right? You have this new business, you're really excited, and then someone breaks your heart, someone doesn't buy, someone doesn't join your team, and now all of a sudden you label and place low belief on people. That's not fair. That's not fair to your next possible client. That's not fair to your next possible team member. So I really worked to have them in the right order, which was low expectation, which I know sounds negative, but it's not. It was protecting. It was protecting me and protecting them, frankly. Low expectation, high belief. I believed everyone in the world could do it, but I didn't expect them to. As opposed to, I expected everything in the world, but I was so jaded that secretly I'm like, meh. So we'll just start there, and then we can like kind of circle around and we'll come back to emotions. Do you guys have like an expectation thought? I know that was sort of general, but that was kind of how I've modeled myself when it comes to my team and my clients. Low expectation, high belief.
I absolutely agree. And I was trying to think like, from my perspective, so if I were to take myself back to when I started my business, I'll never forget, I think Brennan Manning used to say this, blessed is he or she with no expectations. And as a highly ambitious person, I'm like, how can you absolutely have no expectations? That felt like an unrealistic expectation, to have no expectations. Or as an ambitious person, how do you then begin to set a bar for yourself that feels compelling or feels purposeful or feels meaningful? And so as I was beginning to chart and map my own territory and how I was building my life, I began to see that when I had to find the marriage between two things. One was having no expectations for anyone, but high expectations for me, and how to bridge that gap between how do I hold myself to a standard that feels compelling, meaningful, fruitful, but also not hold an expectation over anyone else that robs them of their freedom of choice or that their next step. And so what I began to discover was thing two is the connection, the sisterhood between expectation and the emotion that you have. And so I would begin to see early on that if I was emotionally volatile, and I think I was, then I was knowing that emotions were telling me that I had placed my expectation outside of something that I could control. And so you then have to see how you're languaging that. So now coming full circle, fast forward, it's that you understand that the emotion that you're feeling is kind of an indicator light for where you've placed your expectation. And if you can begin to then understand that emotions are not your enemy, because I think frequently in the business world we want to just say let's not work from emotion, and part of that is inherently true. The other part of that is you've dissected a piece of yourself that's vital. And so if you begin to understand that what you're feeling is a mirror or a representation of or a byproduct of where you've placed your expectation, now you can begin to bring it home so your laser focused mission is brought forth in the world. That's how I look at that.
And now you know why she has the wise owl hat.
And so now let's figure out why I have the cray hat. I mean,
brilliantly said, Christy. That was brilliantly said.
Brilliant. And I'm like, where is that hat? I probably just need, it's like a dunce hat. I just need to wear it all the time so you guys know what to expect. Here. Here is what I would say about expectations and emotion is that I didn't want to go the roller coaster. And I'm already on a roller coaster as a woman. Like, I feel like I didn't need any more help. I didn't need, I was also not this fine specimen you see before you today. Like I was cray without the cute hat. I was just cray. And so I didn't need any more cray. And I certainly didn't want to take anybody else with me. And so I think what helped me manage my expectations from the beginning and has served me for 20 years is focusing on activity versus results. And just like Christy said, when you're a ambitious person or a very results-oriented person, I am power and achievement. I want to win, and I want it on a scoreboard, and I want I want everybody to know about the win, like all of it. But first of all, it's not realistic. And second of all, like you're probably never going to be the best in the room. I always want to be the best in the room, but if you are the best in your room, as they say, you're kind of in the wrong room. Like if you want to grow, you always have to be sort of okay with not being the best. And that's, I think, difficult for people who are attracted to this kind of business. Is we want to win, and we want to, you know, it's ours. And that's my favorite part about this, is that it's mine and I get to do whatever I want with it. But I have to make sure that I don't go to crazy town very easily. So focusing on activity and winning in activity versus winning in results. I think it took a while for me to figure out how to do it, but I think it's vital so that you're just not constantly on an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah. This is sort of related, Heather. I once heard a quote that said, working really hard at what you hate is called burnout. Working really hard at what you love is called passion. And so you can ride that if you're not really, like if you're in the zone of love, like now we're kind of flowing with something.
Yeah.
So I love that thought.
So if you like this discussion, we are going to do kind of like our series for the rest of October on expectations and emotion, because I mean, we could fill an entire year as women in business, ambitious women and driven women, but also women who deal with people all day long, right? We deal with the beautiful humans of the world and ourselves as well. This is a really important topic, because if we can get our mind and our heart aligned so that we can work, and so that we can work well, then it gels and it's great. And if it's out of whack, then, you know, we're in trouble, basically. So that's what we're going to continue to talk about. We talked a little bit about expectations today, a little bit about emotions. I guess I'll just kind of wrap us up, and then if either one of you have something too. The way that I kind of look at what I described for my expectations, or I was actually just having a discussion with a new girl on my team. She was sort of disappointed in how an appointment went. It's not what she thought. And I was like, oh, I forgot to tell you about my emotional insurance policy that I have placed. It's valued at millions and millions of dollars. But I learned from the very beginning, that I had emotional insurance ready to go. I banked it. And what that looked like was, if this happens, then I do this. If this happens, then I do this. I had to pre-decide that if something didn't go the way I thought, that I had something in place ready to go. That's why I call it emotional insurance. So if something crashed and burned, that was okay, because I knew if an appointment didn't hold the way I thought, then I was going to get on the phone and call clients until I got the amount of sales that I was expecting from that appointment. If the appointment canceled altogether, then I would make it a game. I know you guys love that idea, right, Heather? Like, make it a game. And if I knew the appointment was going to take an hour and I was going to sell a certain amount, then my game was, I'm going to call enough clients to make the same amount of sales in less than an hour. And then all of a sudden, I felt like a winner again. And that time wasn't wasted, and I didn't crawl under my covers and do all that. I could do that later. I could do that after. But that was something that I had in place, so that, again, it was a formula. If this happens, then I do this. If someone disappoints me or is rude, then I do this, which was always like, well, that's interesting. You know, if somebody said, oh, I don't this, I don't that, my response was literally, that's interesting. I haven't had anybody say that to me before. Now, was that true or not? I don't know. But the reality was, I had something in place. If this, then that. So we're going to keep this discussion going the next couple of weeks. I hope this serves you. Expectations, emotions. Heather, Christy, anything that this triggered for you to add to?
I wanted to say something and Christy, you can wrap us up, because Callie, what you said about the emotional insurance, I think is so awesome, because how many times do we, if we're disappointed by something, which happens all the time, especially if you have high expectations, you go do the cryy, wallowy thing, and then you hope to feel better later to get back on the phone. How many of us wait to feel better to get back on the phone instead of immediately, because you had the insurance, going and dipping into that insurance, doing it, and then you never have to go down the rabbit hole? So what she did is prevent the up and down by nipping it right in the bud before the emotions truly set in. That's genius. And by the way, when everybody hears me quote this for the rest of my career, just think that it's mine and not Callie's.
You heard it here first, folks.
You heard it here
I'm
first.
deleting this whole live.
Dude, this is free. We'll start passing the bucket soon. This is free for now.
I think it's important. I'll just close this down by saying this. Like, as we flip the switch, you have the power to flip the switch. So if you feel yourself going emotionally sideways, understand that you have a reason to feel sideways, but you can flip the switch anytime you want. The control is inside you. So I would just leave you with the empowerment that you can flip the switch on or off anytime you'd like. And you can flip it up or down, power up, power in, whichever one you want to do. I always say can power up to power up the world, or power in, because sometimes you just need to power in. And so I would invite you to just be cognizant that you can flip the switch, go to a win. It's in your choice. It's in your hands or your mind. And then I just invite you to leave a comment here, and I invite you to leave a question here. I'd invite you to leave something here so we know how to bring content that would be of value to you, but also because what you say values us too. And so we want to hear that as well. Okay, so have a great Shark Bite week. We need a good call sign to get us off of here. But I think we decided something with our hands. I don't remember, but we need a tagline. Have a Shark Bite. So maybe drop that in the chat. What should our tagline be? Bite it out, one bite at a time.
I do like one bite at a time.
One bite at a time. Okay, so yeah, what should our tagline be? Drop that. That's what we want to know. Okay, one bite at a time. Bite it. No, that can't be it. That can't be it.
Bite me.
Bite me. Yes.
Bite me. Nice.
I feel like this started really up here, and now here it is. I knew
this is actually what we really do all the time.
No, this is why this is supposed to be 15 minutes. We've gone over, and now biting the big one.
Biting the big one.
I mean, if people are logging on just now, they might think this is a whole another kind of.
We'll get more views. We'll get more people to follow us if we just start talking crazy town.
Okay.
Samantha 3835, you got the lead with biting the big one so far.
Yeah. Regardless, we are Shark Bite. We are three sharp and fierce women who love what we do. We love working with each other, and we love serving you too. So come swim with us. I don't know, whatever. We're gonna.
That's good too.
That's not bad.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll work on this, obviously, and we'll see you next Wednesday. More talk about emotions, expectations, and let's just do it together. So come on in. The water's fine. Okay. Only we're in there, and we're gonna fight you. Okay. On that note, bye everybody.
One bite at a time.
We're all